time for another episode of the Delco Duo on PHL 17. I'm one half of the Delco Duo, Monica Cryan.
And I'm Jenna Meisner. Thanks so much for spending a little bit of your weekend with us. Hope it's been a good one.
A cold weekend.
Oh, gosh.
It is winter, man.
Yes, it is definitely winter. That's what I was just about to say. And it's feeling like a different winter already than what we experienced last year. I personally loved last year. Very mild. Didn't have a whole lot of issues. Yeah. This winter is already off to a much different start.
You have to remember, I think what's tough is that last winter was the anomaly. To not get any snow was odd. This isn't weird.
No, I like
getting snowstorms is not weird for this area.
Oh, it's tough. But the winter, I mean, it comes with a lot of different things. I know like school's been closing left and right. So all the issues that we have, I think, are arising from, some of the weather, like some of our personal issues that we're bringing to the table throughout the show.
Absolutely.
So maybe you're tired of having your kids home if they had school off this week or whatever it may be. Or
right into us. Delco Duo at PHL 17. That's how everybody gets in contact with us. But before we get to some of our issues of the night, let's get to the debrief. Jenna brought this to my attention.
I did. This is very exciting. So yes, winter time. Super Bowl happens during the winter, but more importantly,
but now that the Eagles are out of the Super Bowl, whatever.
We can't talk about it.
Whatever.
We're still trying to wrap our heads around what exactly happened at the end of the season, but love you birds. It is okay.
Love you birds,
Let's focus on the dogs. Let's focus on the puppies.
Now that they're not in the Super Bowl.
The puppy bowl is more important.
So exciting now.
Take a look at this. This is Sasha. And she is from Providence Animal Center in Media. And guess what? Sasha is in the Puppy Bowl. There's a Delco dog in the Puppy Bowl.
Delco dog. We love you, Sasha. You're going to do great no matter what.
She's so cute.
So cute.
Oh, my goodness.
I know this is... Do you know what kind of mix it is?
It's
probably just a mix.
It looks like a dog that... It doesn't look like...
German Shepherd-y.
It's too small. I mean, I know they start as puppies and grow big, but
I was going to say, well, it's a puppy.
I don't know. We need Kelsey Fabian. We need our dog expert.
I'm so bad with this.
Yes, I have no idea.
Or my sister. My sister immediately would look at that and just go, oh, bam, bam, bam.
I have all the details other than what kind of dog Sasha is.
That was an annoying question by me.
Thanks, Monica.
Sorry.
We're ill-prepared for our show.
Providence
Animal Center in Media posted that on Instagram, and the feedback on social media, some of the posts that I've seen have been really funny about like, oh no, there's a Delco dog in the Puppy Bowl. Like these other dogs better watch out.
It's going to get scrappy.
It's going to get scrappy. We're throwing paws. Sasha is playing to win.
She looks way too cute.
Whatever kind of dog she is.
She looks cuter than a Delco dog.
So that's February 11th, the same day as the Super Bowl, but at 2, which I think I always, we have this conversation every year. Like I wish that the game was on earlier rather than whatever time it starts, like 6 or.
Right.
They need to start doing the Puppy Bowl and the Super Bowl right one after the other.
Right, because the Super Bowl is
late. It's always late.
On Sunday.
Yes. Isn't February 11th?
Yes, and then we always talk about that the Monday after should be a national holiday. Yeah. Everyone's exhausted.
I don't think it's ever going to happen, or Saturday. Moving the Super Bowl to a Saturday.
My gosh,
that would be that is a no-brainer. I don't understand why we don't do that.
But that's not what the debrief is about.
No, it's about Sasha.
It's about Sasha.
Go Delco dog. Providence Animal Shelter, and as I mentioned, Kelsey, who at PHL 17, sort of our resident animal expert, she said a lot of the times they've filmed the Puppy Bowl way ahead of time, so Sasha may already have been adopted by the time that it airs or by the time that they put this out there.
Right. So now will Sasha stay in Delco?
We hope so. I mean, anyone I think can go to the Providence Animal Center, and
Sasha's famous now.
She is famous, but she might get adopted, so she may be adopted already. But if we can try to get any more info on Sasha, what if we could get her on the show?
Oh my gosh.
We'll have to try to do that. Providence Animal Center in Media, if you're watching, let us have Sasha.
We would love to have Sasha. Just know that Jenna and I are not necessarily
I like dogs.
You like dogs. I like dogs too. I'm not the best with them. That they always give all the animal things to Kelsey.
Okie dokie.
For a reason.
Monica loves dogs, yes.
Okay, let's get to our first issue of the night. Pete from Parkside.
Oh my gosh, Pete, write more, please.
Love it.
My sister's fiance was super cocky when the Eagles were on fire early in the season and made a dumb bet with his North Jersey friend that if the Eagles lose to the Giants, he'd get a New York Giants tattoo. We are trying to talk him out of it, and even his friends have agreed to let him off the hook and just pay the bet out some other way, but he's refusing. The sister is going to call off the engagement, Monica, because she wants him to rethink this if he gets this New York Giants tattoo. What else can they do?
Okay. If you are threatening to break up with your fiance, call off the wedding because of a tattoo, I think you've got bigger issues. You've got bigger issues.
You're saying that's too little of a straw to break the camel's back?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys know the vow is through sickness and in health, not sickness and tattoos.
Through Giants tattoo.
Oh my gosh. Do not threaten to call off your engagement. Everything is wrong with this. Let the guy go through with this bet. It's a bet. It's something that he did.
I think for me, it would depend upon where the tattoo is going to be placed. Is it somewhere visible?
Front and center, man.
Somewhere not visible? What's the size of the tattoo? Is it going to be big? Is it going to be small? If it could be like a small little logo and you could, put it somewhere that's not really noticeable,
this is not that big of a deal.
This
is something funny, and that this is something that they'll talk about. They as a friend did this.
But the friend is even letting him off the hook. Like the friend's saying, you don't have to get this tattoo. So it is a little strange to me that this man wants to still get the tattoo, even though the friend's
I think because he's like, I made this bet, and then also he thinks this is funny. He made a bet over one game. That's your red flag right there. Never ever make a bet off of one game, because these games, you could be the best team and you're still going to lose one or two games here and there.
I think this is actually a good example of how he could be as a husband. He is committed to getting this tattoo. He is loyal to this bet.
Absolutely.
As a fiance, that commitment and that loyalty.
Yes,
I think those are good characteristics to have in your future husband.
Yeah, let him go through with this bet. He made it. It's funny. It's just a tattoo. It's just some ink on skin. It's not changing his personality or anything.
I just hope that it's tiny and that it's just like the logo or something.
But next time, don't make a bet over one game. You can make a bet over a season.
But the Eagles were so good. They were so good, and the Giants were so bad that he said, super cocky.
This is the 8th mystery of the world. How the Eagles imploded this terribly is still beyond anybody's understanding. That's why you don't make it over one game, but a whole season, yes.
Okay, so, we really need to answer the question, though. What else can they do? You're saying there's nothing else they can do other than let him go through with getting this tattoo?
I think the fact that everyone has given him a way out and he still wants to do it, he just wants to do it. Just let him do it.
It's like these fantasy football. The loser always has to do something crazy. You'll live, you'll learn, you'll look back on that tattoo and you'll know never to trust the Eagles.
Yeah,
they're doing really well.
That guy does not want to be known as someone who backed out of the bet, because nobody likes that.
All right. Okay. There you go. That is our first issue of the night. I want a picture of it. Can you follow up and send us a photo once this happens? That would be great. I'm sure the fiance's not laughing. Coming up next, we have another issue to talk about. This one has to do with making the first move. Ooh.
And traditions.
And traditions, yeah. All right, stay with us.
And welcome back to the Delco Duo, the show where we take your issues and we give a little bit of advice and Delco twist. That last one, I think, was super Delco.
It was. I actually know quite a few people that have Eagles Super Bowl tattoos, like as a celebration.
Tattoos are a big thing in Delco.
Yeah.
Me and you both.
I actually heard a story recently in the car when I was driving on the radio that we have like the huge tattoo convention here. It's actually happening next weekend.
In Philly, though.
In Philly.
Yeah.
And it's because Philadelphia and the surrounding area is known as this is what they said. Now, I don't know. I'm hoping their information's right. This area is known to have some of the worst tattoos.
Worst?
Worst.
I mean, I've got a pretty bad one, so yeah.
I didn't say it. Monica said it. Now tell them what it is. Tell them, because if they don't know.
I got in college at Penn State. After I sold a book back. So you know how the books are so expensive and you sell them back? Yes. And so I never had like any money in college. Oh my God. And then I finally sold a book back. I got $50 back for a book. And I was like,
Your tattoo was $50. That's it. If it's a $50 tattoo, it's a bad tattoo.
How much was your tattoo? How much are they?
Over $100.
Yeah.
I mean, depending upon the size and like what you're getting, it can be cheaper. Like tiny ones are cheaper, but $50 or less, I don't think is a great tattoo.
It's not great. It's not great. So yeah, I agree. We got pretty bad tattoos here.
It's a brown rose.
Some of my cousins have really bad ones. Love you guys, but you know who you are, Timmy.
Timmy. Timmy's not watching.
No.
Timmy hears from you enough. He's like, I do not need to watch my cousin Monica on television.
All right. Let's get to our next one.
Okay. Next issue of the night. This comes from Marissa from Middletown.
Okay. What do you think of the girl making the first move? I always hear if a guy wanted to, he would. So I'm conflicted. So I think Marissa was also saying, like, you know, if a guy wanted to, he would. And then if he doesn't, it means he's not interested.
Right.
Do you think that's true? That if a guy's not approaching you, he's not interested?
No, I don't think that's true.
Think so.
I think everyone has different personalities.
Right.
And some men might be introverts or might just be like awkward.
Right.
And not know how to approach.
I think sometimes you go out with a different mindset. Like if you're out at a bar one night, you're like, oh, I just want to hang with my friends. And I'm not going to go approach any girl, even if I'm attracted to her. I'm just not even going to approach her. But then in that case, you're kind of missing out. So then if you approach him, he might be like, oh, great. Okay. I did like you. I didn't
have the energy.
Didn't have the energy. Exactly.
True. Or they might be afraid that you might turn them down, and why put themselves through the embarrassment or through the, the pain of being let down at a bar. And she wrote, I don't mind initiating at a bar or event, but I also feel like if a guy's interested, he'll make it happen. So I second guess myself.
No, not nowadays, especially traditions, are out.
Mm-hmm.
If you are attracted to a guy, I would definitely try and make the first move.
Okay,
I think, and it's not in women's nature either to be pushy. So you know how like at a bar, if a guy comes up to you and you show no interest and they continue to push, that's annoying.
Oh, absolutely.
That's annoying. Don't do that. Women,
you need to be able to read a room.
Yeah.
Men and women both need to be able to read a room when somebody's not interested.
Women, if you go up and you initiate and they're not interested, back away. Done. I think women are better at just being like, no, okay, he wasn't interested. I'm done. Whereas guys initiate and push and push. And then they get
all men.
Even more annoying.
Not all men. Some men, absolutely. What is the blueprint for approaching a man at the bar? So we're in a Delco bar and you're approaching a man that you're interested in. How does that go?
I'm immediately talking about like the atmosphere at the bar, or like if it's crowded, comment that it's crowded.
Really?
Like, oh my gosh,
that's your best line. It's crowded in here.
That's not my best
I would be
line.
Like, yeah, thanks. Yes. I have eyes and ears.
Okay, Miss Rico Suive, go ahead.
I would be like, what are you drinking?
No, you're not. That's not what you're doing.
Yeah. What are you drinking? And then,
oh, I've got eyes. It's a Guinness, clearly. No, I'm immediately like, I'm like, oh gosh, like it's so crowded. Can't even get the bartender. Something like that.
Okay.
And
then I'm the man and I say, yeah, it's really crowded in here tonight. It's Friday. So it could
do you want to make out? That's exactly what, that's my next. If a guy responds to me, I'm immediately like, all right, it's on.
Absolutely not. Good thing you're married so that we don't have to subject any men to this.
I got married.
Did you make the first move with Eugene?
And it was very much like, oh God, it's crowded in here. Let's go make out.
So that was over 10 years ago. So you haven't changed, that you're still going with that 10 years later. Okay.
I made the first move. I showed just like a brief thing. He barely showed any interest. And I was like, great, let's get married.
So your advice that you just gave, if they show no interest, don't push. You didn't follow your own advice.
He showed a little bit of interest, obviously, but it wasn't, I wasn't getting clear signals.
How do you know if a guy's interested?
I really feel as though it's an immediate, just if that witty banter back and forth.
Eye contact,
witty banter back and forth. He's interested. It really doesn't take much. It doesn't take much for men to be interested. That's why I'm saying go up, get a little bit of a feeler, and if he's responding back and smiling. Mm-hmm. If a guy starts to smile when he's talking to you,
or if he leans in to talk to you, like touches your shoulder,
done.
Touch, but appropriate touch.
That's fine. But it's so easy to tell. You're like, oh, okay.
So Marissa, long story short, yes, make the first move. I don't know that you should trust how we would make the first move, but
then, like I said, if he's not interested, he's not smiling.
It's a crowded bar. There's plenty of fish in the sea.
Go up to another person and say, oh, it's crowded in here.
See how many people you can say it's crowded to before someone bites. Someone will bite.
Even if it's empty.
Let's head to break. As we come back from the commercial break, we'll talk about one of our own issues of the night.
I don't even want to talk about our issue. Let's talk more about making the first. So much to say.
And welcome back. You're watching the Delco Duo on PHL 17 Saturday night. We have solved 2 issues thus far.
Now it's time for one of our own. Let's see.
What's Monica crying about?
Yeah, this has been quite the introduction back into winter.
The weather.
Yeah, the weather. And it not just as like a meteorologist, but as a mom now, it's crazy. This week was crazy with all this bad weather, all these cancellations, delays. It just is. And I feel like I'm complaining, and I sound like such an old person complaining, but I feel like we did not have cancellation or delays for several inches of snow.
I actually said this. I feel like we've gotten very soft to bad weather just because we really, as we talked about at the top of the show, the beginning of the show, that we really didn't have winter last year. And we didn't deal with snow, and we didn't deal with.
And I think people got really,
snow.
I know a lot of teachers were disappointed in the amount of snow days that we had last year. They were like, oh my gosh, we didn't get any snow days. It's a lot of work. It's a long winter. So those snow days are something you look forward to.
Snow days are still a thing because we were able to transition so quickly to remote in COVID.
Yes.
So why I know your daughter's really young, so going remote would have no benefit.
No.
But even for, my niece who's 8,
right.
I think they could go remote if they want it, and they just had a flat out snow day.
Well, I think that's the thing is that a lot of the schools were like, okay, finally, here's a snow day. Yeah. Let's give it to them. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. It's just several inches. I mean, we used to only do snow days for like those huge snowstorms, like blizzards and whatnot, things you couldn't drive through. Mm-hmm. And I get it for safety. The last few have been a bit icier, so I get it. It's safe, but I just feel like we never had delays or even cancellations for several inches. Come on, guys. It's Philadelphia.
So then your kids, when it comes to the snow, like they wake up and they're excited and they want to get out in it, and then
no, they really don't like the snow. It's cold, and I get it.
I remember growing up, I more so looked forward to like the hot chocolate after playing. So
Josephine was looking forward to the hot chocolate, and I'm like, girlfriend, you got to play outside before you got to earn
the hot chocolate. I know it's like a parent, it's also super annoying to dress and undress like however many times they're going in and out in the snow.
When the snow first started at one point, we still went to swim because swim lessons. So I got them dressed, undressed, into swim, out of swim, dressed back into the snow gear.
Every season in one day.
Within 2 hours, I think I got the kids dressed like 6 times. Exhausting, which is fine. But then for them to not enjoy it, you know what I mean? You get them all dressed, you send them outside. But I was saying, I let my kids come in when they're ready. My mom, I can remember like locking the door. Shoving us outside, locking the door. Now, luckily, locking the door, like you got to be out for a while. I loved the snow. I would she would pack a lunch for me, and I would just head on out there. I would picnic in the snow. And that's when my mom was like, something's up with this kid. She should be a meteorologist. But I love the snow, and I cannot understand why my kids are so against it.
Because they're not used to it. I really think because, obviously, Joe, who is 4, I guess that's young. It's not like she would remember a snowstorm. I could understand maybe if they were a little bit older, they just hadn't dealt with a lot of snow because we don't really get that much anymore in the area.
Yeah, I know. It's totally changed.
So if your kid doesn't like the snow, what do you do on a snow day? You suffer inside.
It's exhausting.
You find every toy you can that's inside, and your house is a mess, basically.
Yeah. The house is a mess, like that sludge. You know what I mean? Because they do. I make them go outside, and then when they're like, oh, we want to come back in, they come back in, and it's that sludge. You know,
and your floors are white?
Yeah, door and the entrance, because sometimes they're not even coming in the mud room. They come in just in this other area, and it just creates like a sludge in the kitchen. And I hate it.
You got to put a towel down. Here's what you do. Put a towel down, get a basket. like a big basket. Put the basket next to the door.
Okay.
Hats, gloves, whatever they wore outside, put in that basket.
Okay.
And then they won't be dripping. They won't be. And then when they're ready to go back out, it might not work because it might not dry in the basket. But at least it's all
You just
there.
put it right back on and head back out.
Head back out.
Yeah, but so I did. I got them all new snow gear after these last few
Let's
snows.
hope that it continues then.
I know.
I think a lot
That's
of
what I'm
parents
like-
ran into that too. Like you weren't prepared. Like your kid, did you have a sled? Did you have your sled? Did you have your gloves? Like I think a lot of people don't have that stuff anymore.
So last
Where do
year,
you
which
get
is
a
so
sled?
funny, we bought Josephine really nice snow boots, and she never used them last year. She grew out of them this year. So I'm putting the baby, this boy, into Elsa Anna snow boots. And I'm like, God bless, kid.
And they're probably too big.
They're a little bit big. He's stumbling around in them, and then they're sparkly.
He doesn't know the difference.
They are sparkly Anna Elsa, and he's just walking around. He's like, Anna Elsa. I'm like, yep, that's you, kid. Because I'm not.
It's going to be a long winter.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long winter. So get all the gear.
It's really hard. Please, parents, email me, tell me like, oh, my kid doesn't like the snow either. Because right now I'm like, what? How are you not loving this? How are you not so excited by
I
snow?
don't find that strange.
Remember
I
we
didn't
would
love
do the snow dance, put the spoon under the pillow? I was asking for all the snow growing up, and these kids are like, no snow.
They'll get used. Once they realize that it's getting them out of school, they'll like it. All right, we have our Delco trivia coming up next, and it's
Still
sticking.
snow.
Yes, we're talking about snow. So when was Delco's biggest snowstorm?
Think of one of the blizzards. So when was Delco's biggest snowstorm? I'm either going 93 or 96. Those are the ones I remember.
Okay, let's see what the answer is. January 7th, 1996, 27 inches of snow
So over 2 feet.
in the blizzard of 96.
96. I remember that one.
I was 2, so I don't.
Yeah.
And I wasn't here in 93.
This is me and my sister, Delco, standing on top of that snow. That was a snow pile. And then, yeah, you can
Oh my gosh, you're so cute.
look at that. Look at that snowsuit, man.
So
Fill that out.
maybe this is why you love snow, just because you were out there so little.
So, but I can say I loved it. Oh my gosh, I was having the time of my life. But at times it was so much snow that when I would try and step, my boot would get stuck, and then I'd pull my foot out without the boot.
Yep.
So then finally my dad kept having to yell, swim, swim. You would swim across the snow so that you didn't sink down anymore.
How do you swim across snow?
You just have to, like, more surface area on top of the snow. Like, you would kind of just, like, push your way.
But your legs are still.
Yeah, your legs.
I'm picturing you like a penguin.
No.
Like on your stomach.
Yeah, no, on my stomach. I'm on my stomach.
Okay.
And I'm swimming across.
Well, I don't think we're ever gonna have to worry about that again. I don't want to jinx anything. I mean,
Don't jinx it.
We would shut down.
Shut down.
If we had another snow like that,
They said for like 3 days. I can't remember. Of course, I was very young, but it was shut down then too.
yeah, power's a issue. I mean,
They were putting water in the Schuylkill, snow in the Schuylkill at that time. They had to shovel snow into the Schuylkill.
Jeez. Well, hopefully that never happens again, but fun memories. Thank you so much for joining us for the Delco Duo. Monica, where can people talk to us?
Email us, Delco Duo at PHL17. We love hearing all of your concerns and comments. Make sure to interact with us.